We are only a week away from Google's official launch of the Pixel 10 phones. I've been using the Pixel 9 Pro as my daily driver since it launched in 2024. And it's not only been my favorite phone of the year, but maybe even my favorite phone ever. As usual, rumors are all over the place about what to expect from the Pixel 10 launch. And for the Pixel 10 Pro specifically, it's looking like a lot will stay the same. But you know what? I'm still going to buy it. Am I crazy? Am I such a huge Pixel fan that I'm blinded to how boring the phone will be? Well, hear me out for a bit. Before I get into things, let me make it clear that most of what I'm about to say is based on rumors. While we know all about the designs of the Pixel 10 series because Google has already shown us, we won't know for sure what the Pixel 10 series has or doesn't have until next week. So take everything I say here with a pinch of salt. So the design of the Pixel 10 Pro is going to be remarkably similar to that of the Pixel 9 Pro. There are going to be some subtle differences, like there not being a SIM tray on the bottom to make room for the two speakers down there, and the camera bar being ever so slightly thicker. But really, when you see the Pixel 9 Pro next to a Pixel 10, you can see that not much at all has changed. So, right off the bat, this phone is boring, right? Those of you who followed my work on Android Authority for the past few years know I can go pretty hard on companies who rehash their designs too much. Galaxy S25. Sorry. In this case, I think Google has earned a year off. Let's look at a quick design history of the Pixel series. The Pixel 6 was a wild revamp, looking different from not only every previous Pixel, but every other phone in general. The Pixel 7 kept some design elements of the Pixel 6, but made things a lot more cohesive. The Pixel 8 series refined things even more. Then, the Pixel 9 series made a full refresh again by introducing the smaller Pixel 9 Pro for the first time, making the sides perfectly flat, as well as revamping the camera bar one more time. I feel like after all these changes every year since 2021, Google's allowed to take a break and simply rehash the same designs. To be clear, if the Pixel 11 and Pixel 12 series look just like this, I'll be singing a different tune. But for this year, I'm fine with things staying the same. So we know the outside is staying the same. In that case, the insides need to change significantly in order to make things worthwhile, right? Yes, that is true. But even there, Google is leaving a lot unchanged or only giving very minor upgrades. According to the most recent leaks, the Pixel 10 Pro's battery will be about 3% larger than in the Pixel 9 Pro. An increase is an increase, but it's unlikely a 3% jump will have any real-world effect on your overall battery life. So this is basically a wash. The cameras are also staying the same. From what I've seen so far, none of the camera hardware will be upgraded from the Pixel 9 Pro. That doesn't mean there won't be new features. For example, I'm pretty sure Google will support macro photos on both the ultrawide and the telephoto, which is different from the Pixel 9 Pro, which only uses the ultrawide. This should allow for more light to hit the sensor, making for crisper images. But yeah, the hardware itself is not changing, so photo and video quality on the Pixel 10 Pro will probably be pretty equal to the Pixel 9 Pro. There are a whole lot of other things staying the same too. RAM, unchanged at 16 gigs. Storage options are the same, starting at 128 gigs on the low end and going to 1 terabyte at the top. The display will also be virtually the same, with the same 6.3 inch size, the same resolution, the same 120 Hz refresh rate, and even the same Gorilla Glass Victus 2 covering it. There might be a PWM dimming upgrade, but it'll be minor, if any. So what is actually going to be different? If all this stuff is the same as last year, why am I still going to buy this phone? The biggest and most exciting difference this year is the processor powering it, Tensor G5. If you follow the mobile tech world a lot, you've probably already heard about this, but why is this processor such a big deal? Before I get into the explanation, let me just say real quick that this channel is brand new and I'm really excited about it. If you like what you've seen so far, please give a like and subscribe as it really helps out young channels like mine. So what's the big deal about Tensor G5? For the past 4 years, Google has designed the processor that appears in Pixel phones. To do this, it starts with a Samsung Exynos processor as the base, and then tweaks it to make it more in tune with Google's needs. The inherent problem here is that Exynos processors are only just okay. Yes, Google makes them better for use in Pixels by, for example, improving AI performance, but it's still held back by Exynos itself. Think of it this way. It's possible to make a great movie from a mediocre script, but it's a whole lot easier to make a great movie if the script is great to begin with. Exynos processors are, let's just say, less than great scripts. The big deal this year with Tensor G5 is that Google is pushing Exynos out of the equation. Instead, Google is now going to do the exact same thing that Apple, Nvidia, and Qualcomm do, which is to design the chip themselves and then have Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, make it for them. So this is all very interesting behind the scenes knowledge, but what does it mean for the Pixel 10 Pro? Well, it could mean significant performance improvements over previous Pixel phones. I'm not going to mince words here. TSMC is the absolute best company out there when it comes to making silicon, so there's a very high possibility that Tensor G5 could blow every other tensor out of the water. Early leaked benchmarks suggest up to a 36% improvement in performance over Tensor G4. That's a lot for year-over-year gains. Synthetic benchmarks aren't the only thing that Tensor G5 could do well. It's looking like the new Tensor chip could be based on a 3nm process, which could mean better power efficiency. Remember how I said the battery capacity in the Pixel 10 Pro only increased by about 3%? Well, that's not likely enough for any noticeable battery life gains, but that combined with a more power efficient processor certainly could give a perceptible boost in battery life. I am very excited about that. Those of you watching this who know a lot about processors are probably saying, okay Scott, but what about thermals? Pixels always run hot, and this new processor sounds like it could make that even worse. That's a very good observation, but it looks like Google has already planned for that too. Rumors suggest the Pixel 10 Pro could have a much larger vapor chamber inside, which is what helps keep the phone from feeling warm. This is one of the likely reasons why the battery didn't get much bigger. Google needed to save room for the bigger vapor chamber. So yeah, this new phone could potentially have much better performance, better battery life, and cooler temps. I don't know about you, but for me, those things alone make me excited about the Pixel 10 Pro. But wait, because there's more. There's evidence online suggesting that Google will also make charging the Pixel 10 Pro a better experience in a few different ways. First, when you plug the phone in, you're likely going to see faster charging speeds. It's not going to be a huge difference, but rumors suggest an 8% increase in speed, which is small, but I'll certainly take it. Wireless charging speeds will also probably go up thanks to the Pixel 10 series supporting the Qi 2 standard. If you have a Qi 2 compatible wireless charger, you should see about a 25% speed increase compared to the Pixel 9 Pro's 12-watt speeds, which is pretty sweet. But what's really exciting about Qi 2 support is that I think Google is going to launch a suite of charging accessories that support magnets. From the rumors I've seen, these accessories will land under a marketing name of Pixel Snap, with the snap, of course, referencing the satisfying sound iPhone users hear when they snap their phone to a MagSafe accessory. The one thing holding me back from jumping for joy about this, though, is that I know Google is making magnetic Pixel Snap charging accessories, but I don't know if that means the phone itself will have magnets or if you'll need to buy a magnetic case. iPhones, once again, have the magnets right in the phone, so you can go case-free and still snap it onto any MagSafe chargers, wallets, or other accessories. I really hope that this is what happens with the Pixel 10 series. I will admit that I'm expecting this not to be the case, and Google to let me down by saying I need to buy a specific kind of case for the Pixel Snap accessories to work, but I remain cautiously optimistic. So now I've gone through all that, let's return back to the original idea here, which is that the Pixel 10 Pro is a boring upgrade, but I'm going to buy it anyway. The thing is, though, that the Pixel 10 Pro is not going to be a boring upgrade. Judging by the rumors, we're probably going to get huge performance gains, better battery life, better thermals, faster wired and wireless charging, and we might even get magnets on the back of the phone.
Yeah! Magnets! Oh!
That doesn't even touch on all the cool software features we expect to see land with the Pixel 10 series. And you know there's going to be a ton of those because that's Google's bread and butter. I will be at the event on August 20th, and I will have a lot to tell you about. In the meantime, jump down in the comments and let me know what your plans are. Will you buy the Pixel 10 Pro or one of the other Pixel 10 phones? Are you going to skip this generation? What are your reasons for your decision? I'm very excited to chat with you about it, so feel free to speak your mind. If you're new to the world of Pixels, why not check out this video here, where I go over my favorite underappreciated Pixel exclusive features. Hitting the subscribe button here would also make my day. I'll see you all down in the comments.